Jai Hind दोस्तों, welcome to FinVision. I'm Colonel Sandeep Melwar. And in our series of financial awareness videos, today we will cover a very important topic of commutation of pension. Commutation of pension is one of the most crucial decisions in life of a superannuation or premature retiring officer. Now, commutation of pension has many financial as well as other including emotional decisions. Today we will solve it from the financial angle part of it. And here how it goes. Suppose an officer of 45 years of age decides to proceed on a PMR. His last pay is 1,65,400 rupees. MSP he is drawing is 15,500 rupees. DA on date is 34%. For calculation of pension, the following will have to be taken into account. That is his basic pay, the final pension he will be entitled for will be 50% of his basic pay, which comes to 1,65,400 plus 15,000 divided by 2, that is his last pay is taken as 1,80,900 rupees. Now, for this is the pension he will be entitled to, that is 50% of the last pay, that is 90,450. Now, the monthly pension he will be entitled to is pension plus the DA. DA being 30%, 34%, is final pension will come out to be 90,450 plus the DA, which comes to 30,753. The monthly pension he will be entitled, therefore, will be 1,21,203 rupees per month. Now, suppose the officer decides to commute. For commutation, there is a commutation factor which is given, and for a 45 years of age of officer, the commutation factor applicable will be 8.996. Now, this will be used for the calculation of the commuted corpus that the officer will be entitled to. This is how it goes. Commutation factor 8.996, 50% of pension is commuted, that is 50% of 90,450 is commuted, which is comes to be 45,225 rupees per month of his pension is commuted. Now, the commutation corpus that is he'll be getting will be here. That is 45,225 into commutation factor, which is 8.996 into 12, which comes out to be 48,82,129 will be the commuted corpus he will be receiving. Now, monthly pension after the commutation will be the pension he is entitled to, that is 1,21,203 minus the commuted portion, which is 45,225. Hence, his monthly pension even after commutation will be 75,978 per month. Kindly note, even after commutation, the officer will continue to get the DA on the entire portion of his pension. Now, for the calculation purposes, let's assume the DA on date is 34% and the annual increase in the DA for the next 15 years will be 6%. Now, pension opts to pay tax as per the new regime of the tax which is applicable now. And this is how the calculation will go. Is basic pension 90,450, DA 34%. Now, he didn't commute, pension per month he is entitled to will be 1,21,203. Now, he has to take a decision whether to commute or not to commute. We will calculate for both, as well as we will calculate when the taxation income, when the pension received is taxable or not taxable. Now, coming to when the pension is commuted. When the pension is commuted, the from the monthly entitled pension of the officer, he will be receiving the pension less the commuted portion, that is 42,225. Hence, his monthly pension will come to be 75,978, which comes to annually 9,11,736. Now, what happens is when the commuted corpus comes to the officer, it comes as tax free. However, when the monthly pension is received, it is taxed as per the slab of the officer. Now, since he's opted for the new tax regime, this is the amount of tax the officer will have to pay on the pension received after commutation. Hence, the pension after commutation, annual pension after commutation will come to as per this column. And this continues for next 15 years based on the 6% DA which is applicable. Now, when the pension is not commuted, he will continue to get 1,21,200 per month, which comes to 14,54,436 per annum. This is the amount that the officer will be getting every year for next 15 years. If the pension is not commuted, this is the in-hand amount that he'll be able to utilize after taxation. Now, in the two cases of whether the pension is commuted or not commuted, this is the gap that officer need to fulfill from the corpus, which he had received at the time of commutation of pension. Now, this amount is depicted as per this. So this is the amount that officer need to fulfill from the corpus, and he has to invest or utilize his corpus in such a way that the entire deficit in the monthly pension is fulfilled from this investment of that commuted corpus. Now, assuming that the income is taxable, when the income is taxable and the amount of the corpus received is 48,82,129. Now, even if the officer invest in a way that he is only getting 3% per annum post tax. Now, based on that calculation alone, that officer will be able to fulfill the entire deficit of the pension for next 15 years. Let me explain further. This amount invested at 3% annual rate of return will amount to this much after 1 year. After 1 year from this amount, this deficit is taken out. Now he'll available out of the 50,28,593, that was the value of this invested corpus at 3% rate of returns. 46 lakhs will be available for his investment next year. Now he continues this way and continues to withdraw this much amount from the value available at the end of the year from the corpus invested. Based on this, after 15 years, even at the 3% rate of return, he will have a surplus of 2 lakhs plus in his account. And this is only based on the calculation of 3% rate of return. Now, the pension, when the pension is not taxable, here, since he will not be paying tax, the deficit has to be fulfilled is the entire commuted corpus, this amount, and on the annual basis, which comes to 5,42,700 has to be fulfilled for the next 15 years. Now, for this, the officer has to invest in a way so that he is able to get 7.2% per annum returns post-tax. And this is how the calculation will go, that whatever amount is the corpus of entire 48,82,129 invested at 7.2% rate of return will take his amount to 52 lakhs, and thereafter he reduces the deficit in pension, and this is how continues, and after 15 years he will still have a surplus. So in a taxable, when the pension is not taxable, the rate of return which need to be generated from the commuted corpus will be a little higher, that is 7.2% or higher. Now, why does the difference comes in? The difference comes in basically from the taxation portion. Because when the pension is commuted, the entire corpus comes to you as tax-free, while the monthly pension is taxable. And in this case of this officer of 45 years of age, he will end up paying 22 lakhs plus in the form of taxes to the government. So, what are the inferences to be drawn? When the pension is taxable, it is better to commute, and because the rate of return required of 3% is even be received from the SBI deposits, because deposits as on date are giving 6% rate of return, which comes to around 4.2% annual. Therefore, you will be beneficial even by putting the commuted corpus into the SBI FDs. When the pension is not taxable, now you can think about it. In case you are sure of generating more than 7.2% rate of return from the commuted corpus, then you should commute, otherwise not. Kindly note, we have not taken the cess and other charges applicable on the income tax for the calculation purposes. In case that is taken into account, the rate of return or the break-even rate will come to even lower than 3 and 7.2%. Other factors, if you have a major liability, it's better to commute and fulfill that liability. In case you are a PMR or a young officer, you are likely to pick up a job outside or have a business for fulfilling that deficit gap in the monthly income, it's better to commute. Commuted corpus comes as tax-free and the monthly pension is taxable. That's how the difference comes in. The retiring and the young officers retiring at PMR or 40 to 50 years bracket should definitely commute as per the financial factors alone. And the other utility of the commuted corpus is the opportunity cost that you can, the amount available with you can give. Now to conclude, based on the financial factors alone, it is always better to commute because the break-even rates of 3 and 7.2% can easily be achieved by smart investing and even in the most safest forms of investment. I hope this calculation clears the fog on the commutation and the dilemma of the commutation of pension. We will continue to keep coming up with the such like videos on the personal finance. So therefore, do subscribe to our channel. Please press the bell button to get the notifications. Follow us on LinkedIn and join our Telegram to stay updated on the matters of personal finance.